So, I'm your host, Michael Greenwood, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by Rahul, who is the visionary behind the Lux 360 booths and the booth station as well. So, we've got two companies, which are top tier, reliable, creative event solutions, and he works across the UK as well. So, welcome to the show, Rahul. Do you want to tell us about the businesses?
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. So basically, I'm the owner of Luxury 60 Booth. So we hire out bespoke built photo booths and really not just photo booths, but photo experiences and video experiences. And some of them are quite unique because they're ones that I've invented, I've drawn. I have a trademark on. So they're quite unique concepts that have come from obviously my own experience in the events industry. So that's Lux 360 Booths, what we do there. So purely hire out for any kind of events really, more of the higher end. So private parties, weddings, corporate events, that kind of thing. So yeah, and we've got the what we've done is we've split the brands down. So we've got Booth Station as well, which I just rebranded this year, which is all to do with sales of the photo booths, the business opportunity side of it, and all of that kind of side of basically selling really.
Cool. So tell me about Rahul, where you first started your business because you've had jobs before, like normal employed jobs, aren't you? Before you had a business, and this has not been your first business, as it?
No,
Because we've done a podcast before, haven't we? Yeah, which has still been edited. Actually, this is we're doing this with Riverside folks, so going to be a bit quicker to get out there. Um, so yeah, you've had jobs before, and then you started a business before this. But what were your first? What were the kind of entrepreneurial spark? Do you think?
I think definitely like a business not working out is definitely one of those things which teaches you, and it's like a life journey and just something that happens on it. So I had a travel business before. My degree's in travel. Obviously, like I've always loved traveling, so I just did something I was passionate about. And it's kind of like one journey always leads to another journey. So it was me leaving my job, and then because I was in a I was in a good job. Me leaving my job for a reason because I kind of felt like burnout, just drain of this job that I was doing, and then going into another community interest company that I set up, and then on the back of that, I found the whole photo booth business, and it just that kind of just happened from there. So I'll say I'll always had like a deep appreciation for like technology and human experience. But photo booths especially, I've always thought like cool. And I didn't know what a 360 was because obviously primarily we're called Lux 360 booths and it's what I started out doing. I didn't know what one was 3 years ago. When someone said to me, "Can you get a 360 booth?" I was like, going on Google, I was like, "What the hell's a 360 booth?" I didn't know what it was. But photo booths, especially like the modern 360 and the Rogue style ones, I feel like they're just a perfect fusion of like technology and it's so cool. So I just saw an opportunity to create something that wasn't just fun, but like it was kind of like immersive. Like I felt like the really high impact and the brandable because like you can put your brand on the screen, you can put it anywhere. So I thought like this is cool, and when I these couple of years ago when I started the business, which was about 3 years ago, there was only one company doing it in the Midlands. There was companies that were starting out in the game, but there was only one big player. So I just thought like a tech forward experience, like that people want to share, it would be really cool, and that's where Lux 360 Boost was born from. That Risen and the community interest company, and just what happened to kind of delivering the high end, memorable moments we do now for events. But yeah, it's just scaled in the last 3 years with kind of my love for the innovation and the creativity and yeah, the profitability, of course. But it's an industry that's constantly evolving, so it's kind of like exciting.
Yeah, because it was like originally I'd call them like the old school, like they almost look like the ones where they had the props and everything, but you sat in them, didn't you? And it were like just stand alone. So we're not talking about that now. We're talking. It's a different kind of. It's a more modern experience. You just want to touch on for the audience if you're saying photo booth and they're thinking like the ones
Yeah,
like we do the passport photo style ones, at the that kind of thing. It's not that we're talking about anymore, is it? It's a different thing.
no. So don't get me wrong. Those passport style photo booths, shockingly, they're still in high demand. Um, like I've just had a friend who wants to buy one. We've actually built one, but it's not like as kind of clunky and big as the old one. The photo booths I do, so they're sleek, slim. They can take a photo of you from an iPad or DSLR, and they're very good quality. So they're more modern and they're more trendy and kind of up to date. I'll say like 2025, 2024. Like they're more tech savvy. Like some of our selfie booths they only take like 2 foot, 2 foot up. That's literally the space. And the same with like the magic mirror that we bought out. It's a slimline magic mirror. It's not like the clunky big magic mirrors that needed a flight case and people had to bring trolleys in for. This is a magic mirror that just comes in a 6 foot flight case. So we've taken that technology and really adapted it. And, like I have shares now, obviously, in a factory in Hong Kong. So it's, I get a wholesale rate. It's kind of like the agreement we've got. So, it's the latest technology, and we know that like China, Hong Kong, they're coming with all of the latest technology. And there's so much more that is coming out. But obviously, you know, I'll mention that a bit later.
Mm, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, we're gonna. Do you want to unpack your kind of approach to designing and customizing your photo booths then? Because that's obviously pretty much. I don't think there's many or any other competitors of yours really doing that, is there? Because
Mm.
that's a good USP, a
Yeah,
unique selling proposition, isn't it?
definitely. Yeah. So I mean, like, of course, there's inventors out there of different concepts in like America and that. But in England, like a lot of what the companies are doing is they're getting through like the grey import area of like they just drop ship it from China or Hong Kong, the photo booth, and then they'll rebag it, put their logo on it. What I've actually done is like I've built up over, and it has took me a long time, a very long time. Um, I've built up, like a good relationship with a proper production factory. We have a local welder. For me, like the process has been seeing stuff fail. Like I went to an award ceremony 2 times, and the magic mirror didn't work. I like both of them. I think the only one I actually seen one working at was like actually the event we went to, the Wedding Industry Awards. That was the only mirror I seen working. So I was like, both the two events I went to, it came from human experience of how I came up with the design and the technology. Because I was like 2 out of 3 events, I was all dressed up. I wanted to take my photo, you know. um, and I couldn't do it. So the first one I went to, the guy said the mirrors just stopped working in his van, and the second one he said the glass got smashed. So I was like, why do we still have these clunky things? And it was the idea. Then I've drawn something, and I thought I can draw this. I just drew it on Canva. I didn't use nothing out of this world. And then then I just went to look at if this can be done. Asked the local electrician, local welder that I know from local network, and they were like, "Yeah, you'd probably be able to build something like that." And then I started researching um, like the glass and everything. I've gone to the factory in Hong Kong, where I've bought a lot of components on from over the year, and obviously like they were like, "Well, yeah, we can build something like this, but dude, it's just gonna be like we're talking like £20,000 in a patent. It's gonna be like X amount in a trademark, and the trademark like I could afford, but the patent I couldn't. So the kind of deal, basically with my mirror, I'll tell you guys, and you're like the first to know this on this live. The deal I had obviously with him is that I said to him, you pay for the trademark and the patent, I'll pay for the first prototype build costs, and basically they agreed they'll have the redistribution deal, so they'll be allowed to sell it on Alibaba, global sources, wherever the hell they want, and they can make a modified version of it, but they would cover those costs, which was a lot. And that's what we've done basically. So I have the first mirror now, the prototype that I paid for. I've had it out a few events, had great feedback. It's completely my first invention that's on my own software, so we're not using generic photo booth software of the industry standards. It's our own software, own mirror, Gorilla Glass. Um, Everything on it's been done by me, like designed by me. The engineering was obviously done by like engineers in the factory in Hong Kong. Um, even to the point of the film wrapping, my friend Ronnie from Treadmark Wheels, he knew someone that did like film wrapping for the mirror glass. So I've had the it wrapped. But yeah, like every kind of like to go back to your question, like every idea I've had, it's just come from an actual experience or an actual thing where I thought, we're in the 21st century now. Why can't we change this? Like what you were saying earlier about people think of a photo booth and they think of the old school one that you sit in the passport style. And I
Mm.
just thought, why can't we make something slim, sleek, that just fits in a small flight case I can go into a car? Like, why do we need to buy a van to have it? And that's where the ideas have come from, really, with it. And I've just drawn it, seen it, adapted it. So yeah, that's basically where it's all come from that side.
Mm. Mm. And you built a really strong reputation, haven't you, mate? In terms of you've won some awards. Were there an MBE as well?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So basically, they were saying they were considering me for an MBA. I've not heard anything since.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I got an email saying like basically I was being considered for an MBA. For the it was pure. It was actually purely for the Magic Mirror invention, because that is a patent and I should say an international patent. Um, so it's an international patent. So that's like a big thing. Because my other patents on trademarks before they've just been like in UK and US. That's the main areas I've kind of had the paintings on. But that's an international one. So but I don't know. I've heard the process of MBE can take some time, so it may well still be in the pipeline. But the awards I've won, yeah, I got the. I didn't win the wedding industry awards, as you know, but I got after that. I think it was 3 or 4 months later. I won the Natural Signature Awards in Birmingham, which was absolutely fantastic. Better, bigger than the Wedding Industry Awards. Like, not to knock them guys, they're brilliant at what they do. But the Natural was just next level. To be next to like companies on a table that is Poundland, Jack Life Rodcar, who I follow on Instagram, like, and I've got I love what they do. I love their brand. Um, to be next to big names like that, and then you have a big name speaker who's someone that's actually successful, like a millionaire. I think if I remember right, it was like the guy who does security for like Tyson, Fury. He's done like
Mm.
a lot of big names. I can't remember what the company was called now, but they were at Natural, and then to win that was massive. So I got most commended business 2025 at that. And then obviously, yeah, I went to Real Entrepreneur Club, and that was a totally different experience because they interviewed you after you applied, and then you met the people who were going to judge you. So Barclays were judging me, like someone from
Mm.
Barclays Bank, real people who are like again successful. They're 100 granders, 200 granders. I think one of the women was a millionaire. Uh,
Mm.
you know, and yeah, to go to that in Leicester, Leonardo Hotel in Hinkley, that was amazing. Won that. I won the category, so that was like the category I won. So I got Excellence and Innovation Award 2025. So yeah, and I actually got it like when they announced it in the video and everything. So it's great.
Mm. Mm. So you're getting around, getting in proximity to some people who can help you to level up. Then, and is there like, do you? I talk about energy a lot, and all that kind of vibrational stuff like that. Law of attraction and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it is like an energy, when you're there, like the atmosphere, and you can feed off that and the positivity when you're around those people.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I made a life change and a life choice that, I'm going to dedicate my life to two things, and that's obviously, and this was like something that came from a mindset, and I have to thank you as well, mate, because like working with you last year, for the time we did, like helped so much as well. It helped me progress, because I think you're someone that's doing absolutely phenomenally well, but I think like it was watching the videos, changing my mindset, and obviously, in I think one of the videos, I can't remember if it was Grant Cardone or Alex or is it Hermosi? I can
Alex Abosi, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but I was watching one and it says the people that you surround yourself with are the people are what you're going to do or where you're going to go.
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, yeah.
yeah, that was it. Because I watched so many videos, I forget. So I was like, yeah, Mike's definitely one because Mike's doing incredibly well. Like you're doing well, so I was like, that's person one. And then I started looking at it and I was like, yeah, but hold up. I was like, some of the people I know are not. So I was like, I'm not gonna obviously fall out with him, but I'm gonna rescale my focus of that. So I'd already met someone at the Natural Signature Awards, so it kind of I mean, like everything just seemed to happen in a reason and a journey. So when I was at the Natural Signature Awards, they put me on a table, and all the people were speaking to me. They were lovely. What do you do? That kind of thing. One of them runs the East Midlands Manufacturing Network. Now, a lot of manufacturing companies, to have a manufacturing factory, you've got to have money. So they're doing a bit better than me. And one of them I met was obviously Autopack there, Sean from there, lovely guy. He's fixing my love letters. I've dropped him off to him today. He's doing incredibly well. So I was like, yeah, okay, I've built my circle a little bit better, and I'm got a little bit more better friends. So what I'm trying to do is, what basically I've done is I've basically put myself around people that I think are doing a lot better, and I'm keeping my communication levels to only within those 5 people that I think these people are doing phenomenally, or they're gonna do phenomenally, or they've got the drive and the ambition. I can see that way. But it is a mindset change, and it is a lifestyle change in a way because like I was again don't know where because I've been watching so much and reading so much, but I think I either read or watched it that they were saying the average person will just end up like going to a pub with their mates and doing that the rest of their life and think they've had a great life, and then they get to 70 and they're like, I wish I'd done this or whatever like that. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. Like I feel like um, I'm very blessed that like I'm in an all right position. I'm not in no way rich, but I'm not poor. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
I can scale this business to a point like where it can keep growing and growing. So but of course there are objections, but I think that's been like the change for me. And then obviously like I found out that one of these people in the manufacturing network is a millionaire. Like so I was like wow because I didn't even know he was a millionaire. I was like so to now I've got one friend that is actually a millionaire is like incredible, and for me to have that journey in that circle and like be able to speak to them and get their mindset, it's just really really good. And even changing my networking, like I was doing a lot of like what I'll class as like lower end networking where I wasn't getting anything from it. And don't get me wrong, I probably made some connections and friends, but now I do like Cuckoo, which is higher end networking. And I'm only doing networking now if it brings me value. Like I because a lot of people I know they're doing like 50 networking groups and like it's a full time job. It can be a full time job.
Yeah.
I'm only doing like networking where I feel I'm getting something from it. Um, I basically like done like an Excel sheet, kind of like how you used to do. Like I'm charting everything. So I go to this networking group. What did I get from it? Did I get any leads from it? What connections have I made from it? Where can I take this connection? So that's what I've got on an Excel sheet for each networking I go to. I dropped it down last year from 3 networking groups, and now I'm only going to 2 because I don't get anything from one of them, and I'm just wasting money. And that money could be going on staff wages or whatever like that. So just other things in the business, isn't it? So I think it's just been like really scaling it down, and reading has been a massive thing. Like definitely, I feel like knowledge is power.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, proximity to people who can help you to level up. That's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and it's so game changing,
Yeah.
in the way that also my MacBook case came off there.
No worries.
Yeah, so it's so game changing because you just pick up the phone and you speak to someone and like not even speak to someone, but you can just WhatsApp and then like boom. It's like Sean who owns Autopat. Like I just basically message him like, oh, I've got these love letters that we've had. They got a problem. And he's like, boom, bring them to my factory. went there, like I was speaking to all his workers, and it was just so bad. Like, you know what I mean? Just be able to drive down, and I went to this massive unit, and just dropped these love letters off, and he's repairing them for me. I owe him one for that, so cheers, Sean, for that. But
Mm.
yeah, and just even feel to get advice. Like, I've got another friend within my circle who's an author. He's doing incredibly well. Like, actually doing a book on me because he what he does is really really unique. Um, he basically looks at like inspirational people, like Olympians and um, like people who've done something, and he writes a book about them for kids, but he turns it into like a story. He's doing really well as well, and he's actually doing one on me on how we've invented certain photo booths. So even just speaking to him, but he's actually going to university now, doing a business degree. He's going out there, I think, was part of his degree, and he's like working with $1 million companies. He's worked with like Silverstone last week, so it's
Mm.
crazy. He was doing all the business development firms, speaking to him. I think he was in USA the other day as well. So yeah, definitely. Like I'll say, yeah, who you put you surround yourself with does really make a difference. Like really, really does, 100%.
Yeah, and like you said, mate, it's all you distance yourself to, and all you distance yourself from as well, isn't it? And
Yeah,
because it kind of it rubs off either way. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? So positivity, that's an high energy, but
yeah,
negativity, that's energy as well, and the energy is low with negativities, and it can drain you. And there's what I call energy vampires around. You know, whether you go into a room and there'll be gossiping, or there'll be office politics, or just negative all the time, and and you've got to kind of sometimes some people who work a job, they've got to be around them, haven't they? But they can still distance themselves, or put headphones on, or put earphones in when they're working, or something like that. So
mm,
it's just yeah, I call it like curating your reality. Like when I'm driving,
mm,
I'll only have Audible on, or I'll have like silence. I won't have any mainstream radio. I think I've said that to you before, because I say it all the time, don't I? So I'm listening to like Bob Proctor continuously, like Think and Grow Rich, so Napoleon Hill stuff. And Bob Proctor studied Think and Grow Rich most of his life, because that's basis of learning, isn't it? It's repetition.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and it's also you don't know what you don't know as well. It's first stage, first to four stages in learning is unconscious incompetence. So I have massive paradigm shifts like every day. It's like every day is a school day. You know, I'll
yeah,
learn something. And Alex Mosey says, if you're making X amount, let's say you're making 50 grand a year, or you're making 30 grand a year, or making 60 grand a year, or 80 grand a year, and you want to make a million a year, or whatever your figure is, you want to make 10 million a year, you want to make just double your income, um, your opportunity cost is whatever you're not making. So if that over 900 grand. So best way that I've found getting that knowledge is to pay a mentor who's already done it. So that's what I've started to do. You know, like last year, 3 grand into one mentorship, and then a few others as well. And now I've got access to all this material, but it's not just consuming it and reading it and watching videos, is it? You've got to actually
apply it.
implement it.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I write down questions, then I can go back and ask them. So ask like coaches and mentors. So that's probably the biggest advice I give anybody in business. It's like when I first started, I were absolutely clueless. And if I could go back to my younger self when I were started business about 29, 30, I'm 46 this year, so it's been about in 2009,
mm,
about 29, 30, and I didn't know anything really.
yeah, yeah,
And if we could go back, it'd just be like I had so many limiting beliefs as well. Um, so many limiting beliefs, uh, and obviously you do affirmations to counteract them, don't you?
yeah.
What?
Affirmations is a massive one as well, mate. Like,
Mm,
I was so glad you told me about that as well. It really, really is. Affirmations is game changing. Um, yeah, you know, I go to obviously I'm in Cuckoo. They do a
mm,
thing on once a month, and it's God, oh, you know what? Embarrassing. Is it gone out of my head what it's called? But they do a thing at East Midlands Airport every month, like a cuckoo meeting, and it's like a clinic where
Yeah.
every month they have a different business topic, and you talk about it as a business owner, and then as business owners together, you do it. And self doubt and self belief and limiting belief was one of them, and having that doubt, and everyone gets it. Absolutely everyone. There's not one business owner who hasn't got it, um, you know. And I think it's just believing in what you do. There's been times where the business, like like we weren't doing very well. It wasn't much income, but we just kept at it and been persistent. And now it's all just flowing into place. So sometimes it is being persistent as well, and knowing that not everything is going to happen in your business straight away. It takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, is the saying, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Uh,
I do that as well, like what you said. I've stopped listening to music in the car now, and what I do is instead is I have Audible, or you don't even need Audible now because you can go on YouTube and they've got the full audio book. So I think I told you I was listening to one the other day actually, and I think you said you've read that one or watched it as well.
yeah, I've cancelled Audible like last year. I've still got them on my phone, like they're still there, and I just
Yeah,
listen to the same ones anyway. It's like Bob
yeah,
Proctor, Grant Cardone, that kind of thing. So it's just same ones I'm going through. It's yeah,
but it's good though, isn't it? Because like psychologically, you listen to it and listen to it, it just drives you and it puts you in our mindset.
it reprograms. We've got neuroplasticity, aren't we?
Yeah,
And it's just we're kind of conditioned, aren't we, to think in a certain way to be obedient and compliant and all that kind of thing. Go to school, go to college, go to uni, get a good job,
yeah,
work
yeah,
for 50 years, kind
yeah.
of thing. And then, there is a different way. It's not for everybody, is it? But
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, mate, obviously, probably like me, you have some stress in your business and sometimes it's pretty intense.
hmm
Um, what do you do? How do you deal with it? What do you do to keep your mindset positive and everything?
I think stress is part of the game, especially with what I do. I'm in events and it's always stressful. Um, for me, I've had to get to grips with it because I was someone that got easily stressed, and it's took me a long time. I'm not gonna lie or front like I'm gonna say it's took me a long time, and some of it I think comes with life experience. But for me, it's about staying grounded for the bigger vision now, because now I've got an office and I just go back to in my head thinking why I started Lux 360 and where it's heading. I
Mm.
break things into kind of small actionable steps. And some of it, like I owe a bit to the council too as well, because they said, you know what, like because you've got autism, you're trying to do 20 things at once, and then you're going to get stressed because you can't do them all, and you're getting overwhelmed. But when I think about it, and I just break it into, right, I've got to do this. I don't get so overwhelmed, and I can make space. And what else I do is I make space for creative breaks as well. Like I give myself time to break, where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the pub, have a pint. I'm just gonna chill out, and that's it. Um, so it's even just reworking like a booth setup or going and doing something with my printer and counting it or something like that. Experimenting with new tech. It helps me just reset. So honestly, I think like nothing beats the energy like you get after like a successful event, really, innit? Seeing the people light up and like how they're like, oh, this booth's amazing. Like I did one, I think it was the one I did in Doncaster actually. I was telling you about before this podcast. Um, you know, the woman booked very last minute, less than 24 hours. She left it till like 2, 3 o'clock to pay, and the event was at 6. She paid at like 2 o'clock, so we were like, we'll go in there. And then we got there. She saw the first 360 video, and she was like, "This is amazing, well worth the money." She was so happy, and the smile from her face and everything. Like, yeah, I think for me, just remembering them moments, that's just like the best way to handle stress. But as well, like I say, you know what? Like 90% of it is, it's just come from experience because I used to go to events and I'd be really annoyed, and I'm like, why is the space not ready? Why is the venue not got it? Like, this is BS. But like now, I'm just like, space isn't ready. Like I've been doing this 2 years. Yeah, is what it is. Always happens. So just get on with it. If they say is this space okay, I'm like, before the old me would be like, no, it's not okay. I need 8 foot by 8 foot. This is an 8 foot by 8 foot. Now my mindset and my changes with that is, yeah, cool, we'll make it work. So like if this is the space you've got, we'll make it work. If there's a real problem with it, like obviously there's no, no way I can do it. I just do it. I'll just speak to him. So I think a lot of it, like 80% of it for me, is it's just come from life experience and how to handle things now and as I've grown. Um, so yeah, I really it. But yeah, I am going to start though, getting back into a gym a bit as well, because I know that's massive, really, really, really good for stress. So yeah, I've just been that busy as of late. I've not had a chance.
Yeah, I was thinking that yesterday with Jim, because um, it's like where I live is like outskirts of Barnsley,
Yeah,
and so in Barnsley, between like Barnsley, Wakefield, Huddersfield kind of thing,
yeah, yeah,
and I'd have to go into like centre, and there's a place called Metrodome, and that's great. It's a great space. It's a great gym.
yeah, yeah.
Got like two gyms, and I'll just go into gym. I don't really go swimming or all like that. And it's a decent price as well. And I were at Bannatynes, which is just down M1,
Yeah.
one junction, and that were okay, but that were a bit more expensive. I know it's only another tenner or something like that, but it all adds up, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
um, but I've been looking for one like a smaller, more independent local one. One of those that they have like in an industrial estate and they've got it in a unit.
Mm.
So but I've been doing a bit of kettlebells and stuff like that, and there's some nice walks around here as well, and just getting into that. But something
Yeah.
you said resonated with me there. It's in particular, I mean, all it resonated with, uh, but when you said about blocking some time in your calendar for like creativity or
Mm.
you know, I mean, I don't drink anymore. It's coming up to like 3 years,
Yeah.
completely teetotal, which it would just slow me down. But I don't go to pub really. We'll go for a meal every so often, but we more go for a walk or have a barbecue or something like that. But I
Mm.
have been scheduling time in, especially in the morning, to do things like journaling and I don't know. Do you follow Andrew Oberman when he says get sunlight in and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so your circadian rhythm when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol stress hormone will wake you up, and then when you go to bed at night, it's uh, your melatonin, isn't it?
Mm.
So yeah, I've started trying to delay having coffee for 90 minutes because that's been advice,
Oh,
so you
okay.
can naturally wake up. Then you'll have lesser like 2 p.m. slump, and then other thing is guided meditation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got into meditation, but my experience has been really positive. It kind of gives me energy, and it's like almost like sleep on steroids. So sleep does so much, like REM sleep, rapid eye movement. But when I've been getting into guided meditation, that's been even more refreshing. If you can do it once a day, that's good. But if you can do it twice a day, and if you get tired around 2 p.m., then that can wake you up, and you can keep going. I
Mm.
mean, we're both here like after midnight hour having a podcast, so
Yeah,
live on
yeah,
YouTube and Facebook. So
yeah.
and we've been going all day, haven't we?
Yeah.
Both done business in day,
Yeah.
and then we're still kind of full of beans, aren't we? And it's weird. Just kind of point I'm getting to is all these things that we do, like what you said about putting some time in. Um, it's important, isn't it? You can't just keep working.
Mm.
You've got to put that in, and it's like scheduling that time in. But then, on the other hand, people say to me, "Michael, you work too hard," but it honestly don't feel like work because it gives me energy. And it's
Yeah.
like I remember having a job, and I would sit there in an open plan office at 9 a.m. and then start typing, and 2 minutes later, I was tired, I was falling asleep, and I had to have coffee because it was boring,
Yeah.
because it was just like dead end, and I was building somebody else's dream. So yeah, the energy flows, and it keeps within you, and you can do tasks that give you energy. Um, so yeah, what suppose like segueing onto what drives you then in business? There's obviously financial, and that's why that's like biggest thing. We need money, in this world, don't we? But
Mm.
what's your vision? What's like your 5 year or 10 year or big vision? and we all
Mm.
it's usually like, I mean, I want to look after my family and
Yeah.
have choices and more freedom and stuff like that. But what drives you?
Yeah, so I'd say I'm definitely like driven by the idea of like building something bigger, that feels bigger than just like, a photo booth business. That's why we've got Booth Station and Lux 360 Booth. You know, um, I think it's about creating the experiences that people remember, but the content people want to share as well. Because I've got to really get some really good friends in the photo booth industry now who are doing incredibly well. Like, and it's even like the personal circle, five very good people doing well. My networking circle is the same, and the photo booth circle is the same as well. And I've realized like the photo booths are marketing powerhouse. They can be for businesses because they have it at an expo, they have it at an event, and it activates their brand, and that's cool because it's got the brand logo on. But then when people are sharing it, I've seen the power of that. So like for me, that really drives me because like I've done so many, and then I'm seeing it all over the internet. My photo booth images that they've shared because people are like, oh, I got this lovely photo of me. So I think the moments like really what we say in our looks like slogan, making moments out for events are unforgettable. Um, that's a massive drive for me, and the biggest drive is the mix of creative tech and entrepreneurship. But going back to it, like it's driven by financial freedom for me,
Yeah,
creative freedom, the ability to shape my own future. I've got more time to spend with my daughter now and focus on things with her. So there's nothing more motivating for me than knowing every move I make builds a lifestyle and legacy I want. Because I don't want to just die and they just be like, yeah, Rahul Sabwa. Like, I want to be remembered as someone, that I made a change or I've done something, and I'll be missed. So that's it really for me. That's the drive, and the drive as well is so I can retire as soon as I want. My drive is I want to retire as soon as I can, and I have someone else running all this, and you know, um, I think I said it to you like just smoking cigars on an island somewhere, innit?
yeah,
A while ago. I think we spoke about it way back, but yeah, probably last year. Yeah.
yeah. Do you mind if I just push back on that a bit? So
Mm.
Jordan Peterson, I don't know if you heard of Jordan Peterson, but he tells a really good story when he was, I think it was some patient or whatever. He's a psychiatrist and a big influencer.
Yeah.
And he's a very intelligent guy. And he were basically saying, right, okay, you want to retire early, and what are you going to do? What's your plan? And he said, well, I'm going to sit on a beach and have pina coladas. And he said, oh, then what are you
Yeah.
going to do? Then what? Oh, I'm going to have another. Then what? You're going to have seven. You're going to be hammered. Then what are you going to do? There's a lot of people who've retired, and I was speaking to a guy who's, I think he's in his late 70s. Yesterday, I've known him for 15 years. One of my first clients at a care home,
Mm.
and he said he tried a retirement 20 years ago. Like when he must have been about 55 or something.
Wow.
And I think it lasted about 9 months or 10 months or something like that. And he's still working now. And he said he'd never retire again. So, what would you actually do? Have you got a figure? Because in terms of
Yeah.
having like Bob Proctor talks about putting a timestamp on it or putting a date on it, and work so it becomes more like urgent. So question is, um, have you got a date when you want to retire? Because you're younger than me.
Yeah. I'm 36.
Uh,
I
how
want
old are you again? You're like,
36. Yeah. 36.
yeah, yeah. So, what date, what age have you got in your mind to retire, and what would you do when you retire?
50, yeah, and travel because I don't have the opportunity to travel now. Because I've got my daughter like half the time, it's really tough. And as you know, with the summer holidays and how much they freaking are here, it's just monopolized money, isn't it, to try and take you on a holiday. I haven't been on a holiday in a while, so definitely traveling. I want to be traveling a lot more. She'll be a lot more older by then. So, yeah, I've set myself the goal of like 50, so that's what I've said to myself.
Hmm. That's nice, man. Is there any particular countries? Because obviously you owned travel agency business as well.
Yeah,
Did you get some perks with that, or could you get some good deals for yourself, or were it all
yeah. Like
business? And
I can't complain about the company I had, apart from obviously the exit that happened. But
yeah,
yeah, that's another story, innit? But yeah, I mean, like I went on some great trips and saw some hotels and stuff like that. I am still in a couple of travel groups, to be honest, because they've not removed me. So I don't know if I
yeah,
could get a discount or whatever, but obviously there's places I want to go to. I'm sure there's places we all want to travel to, like Maldives and there's so many. I could just go on Google and be inspired, or YouTube. But there's so many places I want to go to, mate. The Maldives, the Bahamas, Dubai, so many places that I want to go to. It'd be nice to be able to visit, like, at least one or two different places a year.
mm.
So
Yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I've been watching a lot of what are they like travel YouTubers. So
yeah, yeah,
one, you probably heard of hashtag Brady, aren't you?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Risky Reg and all I've been watching, and then there's this guy who's not got many subscribers, but he's gone to Thailand, and he had like I watched van life stuff as well, because I think I spoke to you about vans,
yeah,
what to van. I just like idea of it, just going into Peak District and sleeping in back of a van or something like that, getting away from it, having a because it gets stressful in business. You want to get away for a few days, don't you?
yeah.
And middle of nowhere with no internet or something for a bit. But I mean, one of my big things, I've never been to America, and
Mm,
I'm 46 this year. I've never been to America, and I always wanted to go. I when I was growing up, I used to watch all American TV series and films and
mm,
all that. So I want to see. I'd like to do a big tour of America. So that's
yeah.
my kind of thing. And it's like me and Vicky, when we first met. She's a bit younger than me. I think she's 8 years younger than me. So cashback. You know, in terms of, we said we were going to do a lot of traveling. She's been to Canada, America, all that kind of thing. But
Mm,
I'm not very well traveled. I've done a bit of Europe. We've done Spain, Amsterdam, um, yeah, Republic Island, if you can call that kind of abroad, and a few other places. So, and then we've been to Greece and Tenerife and stuff like that.
mm,
And France as well. So I've been a few places, but they've all been like Europe, haven't they? So yeah, we've never really been. I've never really been anywhere beyond like a 4 hour flight. So I do need to travel a bit. But my way of doing it, I think, is going to be through business. So I always say, look, if I want to travel, then I'll get a client somewhere. So I might. I'm probably going to be going to Iraq soon, like possibly next month with a client,
wow.
because they've got like a big deal going on, and I'm going to be taking a camera
Yeah,
and kind of doing a documentary, kind of following around, kind of thing, which is
yeah.
wild, isn't it? Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah. So that's going to be fun. So he said, "Do you want to do it?" I said, "Yeah, I'm like up for a venture, because I think as human beings we're here to kind of get stuck in and like adventurers, aren't they? We want to experience things. Bob Proctor says we're here for fuller expression and all that kind of thing, don't he? So
Mm.
so yeah, but yeah, good that, mate. We uh, retiring at 50, and this is like might be a bit personal, but have you got like a number? I always asked if I had a number
Yeah.
of like what
Go on, then, let's hear your number, mate.
my number. I'll tell you. I'll tell you, because
Yeah,
I've been talking about it a lot. This is what I believe in now,
yeah,
um, and I've changed probably in the last 6 months on this. So I want to I want a digital marketing agency exit
mm,
of £12 million. So that's what I'm aiming at. I'm way off. I'm way off.
yeah,
So that's my thing. I want to sell the company at. I've been reading a book called Built to Sell.
yeah,
So it's all about building, systems and processes, SOPs, thinking in terms of something that doesn't require you to run it in an exit strategy. So I want that kind of event, and then that that to then propel me to another level. So I'm super ambitious. Um, and what Bob Proctor says is you've got to have a big dream. What Grant Cardone says, you've got to like 10x it. You've got to have a big dream. What Dan Pena says, I don't know have you heard of Dan Pena?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Have you? Yeah, he owns a castle in is it Edinburgh, I think, and
Mm.
yeah, so he's it's all about having a big goal so to come out of your comfort zone. It's about having a big goal, so that if you have a little goal, if we say, oh, we want to make another 10 grand a year, it's like, oh, we could probably do that easily by just doing another few jobs, but you're not going to grow or come out of your comfort zone. You're just going to stagnate. And as we both know, if you're not growing, then you're because of value of money, buying power of money goes down because of inflation. We're going to lose that buying power. So you've got to keep growing and everything. So I'm pushing forward. And there's a lot of limiting beliefs that we might have that I used to have around money. Like money. Have you ever heard like money don't grow on trees? Like that's a scarcity mindset. Money don't grow on trees. That's what I always heard as a kid.
Mm.
Uh, Love of money is the root of all evil, or money is the root of all evil, and stuff like that. And it's like, I think that's all designed just to keep people kind of, so they're controlled and never really retire.
Mm.
And thing is, I mean, um, in terms of like 20 years ago, uh, like average wage now is like about 35
Yeah.
grand a year, isn't it? But an
Mm.
house price is like, average house is like 9x that. It's 9 times. So it's like 270, 280 grand, 300 grand. But like 20 years ago, it were, say you earned 20 grand, which
Yeah.
would like be today's 60 probably, because it's really depreciated that much. It were 3.5 times your income. So you could be on 20, an house were probably like 70. You could get a house, for that. Now
Yeah.
that's like just the deposit. So my question would be, how are the young folk going to get on the housing ladder unless the mum and dad give them like 50, 100 grand? Or,
Mm.
so entrepreneurship and what we're doing, and I think we're rubbing off on a lot of people as well,
Definitely.
just by doing anybody watching this video,
Mhm.
two high energy people after midnight, they've worked all day. I know we're both night owls anyway. We like WhatsApp at like 3 a.m., don't we?
We
Sometimes,
do,
don't we?
bro. We do.
And
Yeah.
it's like you're still up, and I'm like editing a video, and you're like still up.
Yeah. My
So
staff
it's
say it to me all the time. They're like, "You're freaking up at 3 o'clock and you're messaging me," and I'm like, "Oh crap, sorry, I forgot. Everyone stays up at 3 a.m." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably embarrassing, but sometimes Vicky, I'll go to bed. I'll be still on sofa downstairs. I'll be on laptop. I'll be like doing Chat GPT or something, do some social media or whatever. And then I'll film us then getting tired, and I've got a podcast on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I just like fall asleep like that, and then I wake up, laptop's there, and then I do a bit more,
Wow.
and then I get up at 6 or 7
Get
or
that
something.
though. Yeah, I get that. I get that as well. I get to that point where like I've done that much and I'm tired, but I start nodding off. Like I can't. I don't have the strength to pick the phone up or the tablet. I'm like, nah, I'm going to sleep now. Bye, see ya. I'm gone. I'm gone to sleep. But I've actually realised I need to improve that because it's not healthy getting like
No,
4 hours sleep or 5 hours. And they say your body will catch it up with you. So I need to
yeah,
improve that. I need to get into that pattern of like right 10, 11 o'clock is switch off, get a solid 8 hours because it's really bad. I'm going straight to picking up energy drinks for it, so it's not good.
mm.
Because I don't drink coffee, so yeah.
Yeah. I drink coffee, and it don't really do much, to be honest with you, because it kind of, you get used to it, you get tolerance to it. But I
Yeah.
sometimes have a detox on it, but have a month off. And I always say I'm going to get it up because it's probably the only bad thing that I do. And I do think it's bad. I do think it's not a good thing, coffee. But I've got a good coffee machine. I buy nice coffee and stuff like that. So everybody's got kind of a vice. But I think it makes me a bit more scatty, a bit more ADHD and less focused. And the times that I've given up coffee, you can just like focus like all day, if you want to. But yeah, definitely in terms of because I mean, I'll be honest, I've burnt out a few times over years, and burning out to me is I'll just lay there for a few days watching TV, and I'm like,
Mm,
no, I'm not doing it anymore. I've had enough. I'm getting a
yeah,
job, and that's how and it's like, oh, I can't do it, and then I'll do kind of bare minimum, so I'll do 2 hours a day, just keep things ticking over for a few days, and then I'm right again, and then I'm back into it and like an
yeah.
animal. But it's like, yeah, the sleep is the pillar of it.
Mm,
Um, the sleep is the main thing. Trying to get like 8 hours sleep if you can.
yeah.
Um, and then the thing is, the way so I did a video on this a few weeks ago. Um, it's about working at 90%. Everybody says work at 100% or 110%, but try to
Mm,
work at 9%, and then you've got 10% for emergencies. So, like making sure that you've got reserves every day, because if you work at 110%, um, then you're borrowing from tomorrow, and you've got to pay the piper. So if you feel like doing 20 hours, but you do 20 hours, and then next day you're no good, then you're paying the piper tomorrow, aren't you? So
yeah,
it's like drinking. You drink alcohol today, you have 5 or 10 pints. You're sacrificing tomorrow and today's productivity, because you're not productive when you're drinking. So you've lost 2 days, and then when you're
yeah,
older like me, you're losing like probably 4 days because your hangovers are worse.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, you've got to. Yeah, it's a funny thing, isn't it, mate? Yeah, we pacing yourself, and yeah, I mean, what do you think to the phrase work-life balance? Because I like the idea of having balance. I think we're gonna need balance in everything, and I talk about these 5 pillars, which is fitness, fuel, family, faith, and then finance. And I put fitness and fuel at the top, because if you're not kind of filling your own cup, or your cup's not kind of overflow, if then you can't help your family anyway. It's a bit like, when planes going down, you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on other people. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's you've got to kind of um, look after yourself. But I did a video a while ago about I don't like the term work-life balance, because if you analyze it, there's
Yeah,
work and then life, but life is something you do 24/7, isn't it? And
yeah.
it's like life, you don't stop living while you're working, do you? So
Nah, I
it's
think
more
work.
like,
I
yeah,
think work-life balance is like a great concept, but in real life, especially when you're building something from the ground up, like what I've done with like Lux, it's more about alignment than like balance, because
yeah,
there's seasons where work takes a front seat. Like in my industry, I'm saying seasons here. It's summer. Right, like right now, everyone's like, "Yeah, you're busy. Wedding season. Yeah, yeah, you're busy. Yeah, you know what I mean." And they just give you the thumbs up, like they know you're busy. So those seasons where work takes that front seat, and others where personal life needs more space. Like for me, the times when I'm with my daughter during the week, for me, the goal isn't to split everything 50-50. This is something like it's took me a long while to get my head around, but it's to make sure my work feeds my life but doesn't drain it. And when I'm aligning with that purpose and that vision, even the busiest days just feel like, yeah, I've done something. I've got something done today and it's meaningful. And it comes back to breaking it down and not doing 20 things at once as well. But that's what I chase. So not the balance, but I guess the term is like intentional living, really, isn't it? So yeah.
yeah. I like that, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like with the seasons and the intentional living. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I feel the work-life balance thing is an employee mindset thing, because
Yeah.
it's like I'm at work, right? I'm not living. I'm trapped. I'm in a
Yeah.
prison, and then it's 5 o'clock. I'm free. I can
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the divide, isn't it? But for us, it's like it's integrated. And you said like it's intentionality. Is that a word? Intentional. Yeah,
Yeah.
intention. You said
It's
yeah, intentional.
intentional living. Yeah, because like
Yeah, that's
I,
cool.
I was looking at it the other day and I was thinking having a 9 to 5 is so easy. It's
Oh, it's
easy.
so easy.
It's so easy because you go to work, you clock in, clock out. Yep, that's it. Okay, you travel home and all, and you lose that time. But it
And
is,
you can get all the work done in 2 hours.
yeah,
You can actually get the unless it's like a physical thing. But with the office ones, you can actually do a lot of the work in if you really apply yourself. I found when I had those kind of jobs, not all of them, but some people were just like pacing themselves, and
Yeah.
clock watching and stuff.
True. True. Yeah. That's
But
true.
not everybody, but quite a few. They could.
I
Um,
definitely used to when I was at my drives. I'd be clock watching. I'd be like, I can't wait to go home. I hated it the same as it was like you. It just felt dead end and
yeah.
like it was boring. And I think like I've always felt like that's not been where my place is. It's not working for someone else.
Mm.
Just not. Yeah. But
I had a job for life, man. I had a job for life,
yeah.
and I just, you know what? Bob Proctor did the same thing. Bob Proctor's story about when he left his job.
Yeah.
He worked at fire station, and they were all sitting around playing cards, and he were like, I don't know how old he would have been, but they were all playing cards and then waiting for an emergency, a fire or something like that, and he getting his good public sector salary and all that kind of thing, and he just thought, is this it? And he just like calculated all his wage, and then he ended up doing cleaning, yeah, and then he set other people on doing cleaning offices and buildings and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, that resonates, doesn't it? Where it just gets to a point where you think, did you used to do this just out of interest? Like when you were younger, did you used to when you found out what average wage was? Did you used to like calculate it times like 40 years or 50 years and then know that you'd never get rich?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely used to. Yeah.
yeah. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Um, I think we could just put this out unedited, can't we? I think we're good to go. I think it's been
Yeah. Why
a good
not?
episode. This, yeah. It's live anyway, isn't it? So it's already out there anyway.
It's
So
live, yeah, it's
yeah,
live. It's the raw and uncut, isn't
yeah.
it?
So we're live on anybody who's watching. Are enjoying it, but um, Facebook and YouTube, and then this is going to be clipped. Like for your TikToks and stuff like that. We're gonna
Mm.
have some banger videos out of it. I'm sure we got some sound bites, haven't we? Um, and then we're going to take the audio only version as well. So yeah, and we'll do this again sometime. You've got like 5 events on tomorrow, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, during the evening I've got from well, I say that from 12 o'clock I've got events, So from
Yeah,
12 till probably like 10, 11 ish I'll be at events, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah, yeah. I've got
Yeah.
one, just that Halifax one. Yeah, the bit of photography and videography, which yeah, get there for 10. I'm going to get there about 9:30 though, because when I get there, they're going to let me in because I ain't got a pass. So
Mm.
I'm gonna like WhatsApp or text client or whatever, and then they're gonna let me in. But I'm gonna try and get there like super early. I've got to go through because Vicky's just had her car repaired.
Yeah,
Um, go through and get take her through and so she can bring it back. So probably go for about 7. So
yeah.
yeah, good stuff, man. We'll do it again soon. Eh?
Yeah, definitely,
But
man.
I'm literally just gonna like publish this onto YouTube now, and just so there's no editing with this. Riverside is really good, so it's gonna basically we've got like you on a cam, me on a cam, and then us together like this now. Can you
Mm.
see us together? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'll switch between us when we're talking, and it'll just auto cut it and everything, man. It's really good.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm gonna try and if Riverside is going to be watching one of these, I want to get a sponsorship because I'm going to be talking about Riverside a lot because it's
Yeah.
amazing. So we need to get a sponsorship.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff, mate. Yeah, I'll call it an evening. What time are we on?
Well, nearly one. Nearly one.
It's only 10 to 1, isn't it?
Yeah, only.
Like a midnight podcast or something, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah. Midnight
yeah.
podcast.
When is your? Oh, you've got a new. Do you want to talk about your office a bit before we go?
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah,
got an office. Yeah, it's in Plesley Vale. It's like Mansfield, Bolsover. It's one of those ones where estate agents will say it's in one area, isn't it? But yeah, it's classed as Mansfield, but it is run by Bolsover Council. So yeah,
yeah.
that's the office. Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, mate. I can't remember which one you're going. Are you going for bigger one now, or is it smaller one? It's
Yeah, so I'm in a big one now. That's like 1,000 square foot, I just
That's
don't.
massive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, in fact it's over 1,000 square foot because I think I said that to him. I was like, it's 1,000 square foot, and they were like, they got really angry. I was like, no, it's over 1,000 square foot, and they were like 1,080 square foot, and I was like, all right, calm down. But yeah, um, it's yeah, it's just far too big for me, and the room I'm in, it just needs so much work, and as much as people were like, keep it. I had one friend, and she's really into the energy and the spirituality and that, and she came and saw it, and she was like, "It's beautiful though, because you buy a river, you've got open windows, all that energy, the light." That's what she was like. And there was a room opposite she saw, and she was like, "No, that's dark. It's dull. I felt no energy from the room." She never saw the one that I've seen now. But the one I've seen now is only 200 square foot, and it's £200 cheaper a month. So I
Mm.
feel like it's just less pressure on me as a business, and you've got to be strategical with it, haven't you? Especially with an office, like you said, it's dead money. And I was having this debate with my kind of business neighbor there, who's a photographer, because he's done his whole unit up beautifully, and I was kind of like, I don't see a point because I don't own it.
I've
But
never, yeah, it's like you've been in my office, haven't you? And that's
yeah,
470 square foot. And
yeah,
it's got like worn out carpet on it, and the carpet tiles as well.
yeah. It's not that bad. Like
It's
yours
not
isn't
that bad,
that
is it?
bad. It's not yours isn't bad at all. Like I thought yours was all right decored,
It
but
looks it's in best bit as well, so it's a really nice one, isn't it? It's just
yeah,
some of it's faded into it, and I'm thinking, do you know what? Some people I've known spend like 10 grand on new flooring in a rented
yeah,
office, and I'm like, and then they moved out like 6 months later and
yeah,
stuff like that, and had broadband all wired into it, like
mm,
like all connection points, and had some rewiring and paid for that, and I can't get my head around it
yeah,
when they're renting it. I know it's a business expense, and it can be a tax write off, can't it? I think,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
I think
suppose,
so.
but
Yeah,
you can. I would rather buy a brand new MacBook Pro for like 3 grand as a tax write off
yeah,
than some
yeah,
wooden floor,
yeah,
for something
yeah.
like,
That's
so at least you can keep the laptop. And I know everything's a depreciating asset, and you should look at return on investment and everything, but I could
mm,
never get my head around it. So maybe that's a limiting belief. Maybe I need to change that. But I do want to. I do want to. I'm interested in properties, and I think there's opportunity in commercial property.
mm,
Um, and having, I liked the idea of having some kind of commercial property that you can then sublet.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So you get a better deal when you buy a lot, don't you? When you buy a big place, and then
mm,
you can split it up and let it. Do you know, if you get a smaller unit, it's more expensive per square foot, isn't it? If you get a bigger unit, I know you pay business rates on it, but
yeah,
you get a bit much better lower amount per square foot, don't you?
mm,
So
yeah, yeah. That's it. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's all good fun, mate. Yeah. What are you doing for coming week then? What's your plans? What are you
So
going pipeline? Oh, interesting.
yeah, so I mean, like obviously the plan with the office is half of it is the office just for hire, where obviously like I do office work, but obviously it's going to be like the main thing for it is booth station and the showroom for the photo booths and stuff. So I'm going to do some research into how I'm going to design like, the office, because I know people want to be, people like to be VIP, don't they? Have somewhere to sit, have coffee. I need to design that and scope that in my head.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely something in the pipeline, but I'm working on. I'm working a bit on my website as well. I'm retweaking some of the pages. So refining the website. I'm just trying to make sure every page like communicates like the luxury and creativity behind the brand. But I'm also like deep diving into the marketing, and I'm waiting obviously for the council to obviously help me with this paid ads grant. Well, I don't get the ads paid for. I get taught how to do them, but yeah, so I can learn the mechanics myself really, so I can make a bit more kind of smarter decisions and test what works. I think it's that I'm just gonna keep trying to think of new ways to get more staff really as well. I'm gonna have a brainstorm day where I think about it, because I need to get a staff member that drives now. But yeah, main thing is designing the office, because I want it to reflect the vibe of the brand. Modern, sleek, creative. It's just about creating that alignment between what people kind of see, but the feeling experience with looks, like so. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's. I think we're going to talk about staff a bit, won't we? Because
Yeah,
that's something that we're both struggling with, isn't it?
yeah.
Like I mean,
Have you
I
still got
could
the same stuff then?
say that again.
Have you still got the same staff then? Because I know you had like, did you have a woman and then the editor, was it? Or
Yeah, I've got two. Yeah, um, still same thing.
yeah,
I'm thinking about getting an SDR, so a sales development representative,
yeah. I've
because
thought about that in the past. Yeah,
yeah, and I'm probably just going to jump into that because I've a client I was with this afternoon in Home Firth.
mm,
He were asking me to get him a SDR and then train him
mm,
in sales. Um,
yeah,
because I've done all that like Jeremy Minor training and Grant Cardone stuff and all that. We like say I've got from a big sales background, so
yeah,
um, he asked me to train him,
mm,
and I said yeah, So we've not. I've said I'm open to it. We need to discuss how much it's going to be, but he's on a retainer, and it'd have to be some extra on top of that because what he's paying now don't cover for training in SDR. But for anybody who's listening, watching this or whatever, or listening to it, an SDR is a sales development representative. So there's like three people involved in a sales team really. There's an SDR, which is the person who books the calls into your calendar, and then there's the closer, and that might be an old-fashioned term now, a closer, but it's somebody who actually takes the call and then
yeah,
takes them through the sale. And then there's a CSM, so it's a a customer success manager. So this is like your account manager who's gonna once you've signed the contract and they're a client, they'll call them every month and they'll see that they're okay and ask them and they'll upsell them and they'll manage them whilst they're a client and hopefully there should be a client together forever. Sorry, um, you know. So yeah, that's what we're both looking at doing in it, mate. We like because cold calling is powerful. It's one of the quickest ways. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, obviously, digital marketing company pays ads agency a lot of video,
mm,
and that brings leads in. But cold calling is so it gives you a lot of confidence. Actually, you know what? A lot of people won't pick up a phone,
mm,
and a lot of people. I walk into businesses. I'll walk into a dentist and ask to speak to a practice manager with a camera and say, "Oh, look, who does your video?" I'll just be, really bold like that, and a lot of people won't do it. And I think that's our guys like me and you who are, we'll just take chances, and we don't care, do we? We just don't care about getting a no, do we?
yeah,
And
yeah,
there's a good book called Go for No, where you get a no and it's just another no to getting a yes into it
yeah, yeah,
in business. So you get like a thick skin to it, don't you? And
yeah.
it's that. There's a really good. Just to kind of close it off, have you heard of a guy called Brad Lee?
No.
He owns a SaaS, a software as a service called Lightspeed VT.
Mm,
I think it stands for Videotape, but Jeremy Miner's platform is videos and his learning, his LMS is on that learning management system. And I think Grant Cardone's is as well. And he helps Grant Cardone go from Grant Cardone were doing a lot of face to face shows and stuff like that and his events and all that and face to face, and he got him online basically. Um, and anyway, he said it was really interesting what he said. He said like um, if your lifetime value is like 5 grand, so if a client leaves after 5 years, they spend £1,000 a year, so it's 5 grand. So it's they spend
mm,
£1,000 a year with you, and you can keep upselling them or whatever. Then when you're speaking to a prospect, like when you speak to a prospect and like when you first start doing any kind of sales, you really want them to say yeah, and you get really depressed if they say no, don't you?
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
100%.
So if you can work out with your stats and your KPIs, your key performance indicators, that you will need to speak to 10 people before you get a sale or whatever your numbers is. It might be call or it might be do 100 dials to get a customer. It might be have 4 meetings to get one. So the usual conversion rate is about 25 to 33%. So if you, let's say just easy figures, if you had to speak to 10 people to get £1,000, you could say the first person is giving you 100, second person giving you 100, third person. Each one of them is you're going to get 100 because you know on 10th one you're going to get 1,000. So it's like first 9 aren't paying you anything, but you split your 1,000 up into all 10. And I thought it were really good that, to think that everybody you speak to, you detach from the sale. So you, like Jeremy Minor says, you're emotionally detached. You don't care. You're okay. You already got money. You're helping them to have a good events experience with a photo booth.
Yeah.
I've already got money. I'm fine. I can pay the bills. So I will help them, to run paid ads so they can get some more revenue. I'm okay, and I can call somebody else because I've got an abundance mindset, so I can go on to next. So it's like that kind of thing, and then it makes you know if you have that mindset, because business is 95% mindset into it, you can then speak to somebody completely emotionally detached from the outcome. You're just going to help them to make a decision.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll leave it with that. That's powerful stuff in it. All of that.
Powerful, yeah, mate. Inspiring as always.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, nice having me on. I'll let you get off. I know neither of us are going to bed, so I won't say that.
No,
Yeah.
no. I think what we've done now, because this is the first time I've done a Riverside. Like, to be honest, I hope we did. Hope we did well.
Yeah.
I think I can stop it now, and then it goes off live, and then it stops recording. And then we can have a little debrief or something.
Yeah, sweet.
Do you want to do that? Right. Thanks for coming on the show, my friend, and we'll do it again really soon. Because content is king, isn't it? And videos are good. So
Definitely.
yeah, and these videos you can clip them up and everything and make loads of content. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. See ya.